Welcome back to the Doctor's Kitchen with me, Dr. Rupi. I'm going to be showing you an incredible recipe today. It's green pea falafels. You're going to absolutely love it. It's packed full of nutrition, it's really high in fiber, and it's completely plant-based as well for all you vegans out there. Let's get to it. All right, so the superstar of our dish is going to be chickpeas. These are just simple cooked chickpeas in water, so no added sugar or salt like a lot of brands are, unfortunately. You don't really need those ingredients, and there's going to be so much flavor going into these falafels, okay? This is one of the staples of the Mediterranean diet. It's high in fiber, it's really high in protein as well, particularly if you are plant-based. You want to get as much of these different sorts of legumes, beans, pulses into your diet as much as possible. Stabilizes sugar, it's fantastic for you. So we're just going to drain these, give them these a quick wash, and then pop them into the blender. Next, we're going to add green peas. And these are actually a superstar ingredient. I actually featured it in my cookbook as well. If you've got my cookbook, there's a whole section about the benefits of eating peas and in your diet as well. It's really high in protein, it's got other phytochemicals as well as micronutrients like folate and vitamin K. A big handful of parsley. Parsley is one of these superstar ingredients that not a lot of people know about how good it is for you. It's full of luteolin, lutein. These are ingredients actually that are fantastic for eye health as well. There's a whole podcast that I did with a good friend of mine called Dr. Lalani, who's an ophthalmologist, and we talk about parsley as one of these key ingredients to get into your diet. So I'm using buckwheat flour to bind it all together. Now, buckwheat is a stronger type of flour. It's actually higher in fiber as well, and it's got a lovely taste to it. It's going to give this almost like a crumbly, biscuity texture. Doesn't sound very appetizing right now, but trust me, it's really good. You can use white flours and other sorts of flours as well if you wanted. This is where you get to make this recipe your own. I'm going to be using this selection of spices, but feel free to experiment with all the different variations of spices that you should get. You'll notice in lots of my recipes I use spices because they are fantastic sources of phytonutrients. In general, they are antioxidant and reduce inflammation as well. There's lots of studies about these individual components, and in my book there's a whole section on medicinal spices, so definitely check it out in the Doctor's Kitchen. Add 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds, 1 teaspoon of oregano, half a teaspoon of rose petals that are dried, 1 teaspoon of sumac, and add 1 teaspoon of dried chilies to your taste, and season. Splash in some olive oil and blend. When you've processed them, just grab 2 spoons and then quenelle them as I'm doing right now. So before you put these into the oven, you want to just brush them lightly with some extra virgin olive oil and scattering of seasoning if you feel it needs it. These are going to go into the oven at 180 degrees centigrade for about 45 minutes. I'm just going to serve these with a simple tahini dip. It's 2 teaspoons of tahini with a little bit of hot water. So these are my green pea falafels. It's super easy to make, super delicious and healthy. You can either use it with a dip or just put it in a wrap with some salad. It's absolutely fantastic. I really hope you like watching this video. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check out thedoctorskitchen.com and my cookbook. The link is down below. I'll see you next time.